Hello everyone, my name is Uthris, and welcome to Jurassic World Evolution, the review that no one asked for, or a lot of you have asked for, but I kind of didn't really want to do a whole lot, but mainly because I'm just not good at these type of things. I'm not the most articulate person in the world, and so this might end up being a little bit more of a ramble than maybe you might think otherwise, but I'm going to try my best as to explain why I think Jurassic World Evolution as a game it wasn't very good. It just, to me, wasn't that good of a game. So there's a couple things that I want to stress on early about the game. The audio design and graphic and animation portion of the game with Frontier developments are always beautiful and always well done. That is something that I don't think I could dispute on basically any of the games, whether that's going to be Elite Dangerous, Planet Coaster, or this. So, you know, there's going to be some probably nice shots of Jurassic World Evolution while I am talking about it, and you'll just notice like all the muscle movements and all the dinosaurs, all like the little, you know, personality when it comes to how they look around, and just the shaders and the trees, the foliage, and the water effects. It's all very beautiful. It's a beautiful looking game. That does not, however, make it a good game to me. You know, I'm a big fan of graphics matter up to the point of making it look clean and decent to look at, so it doesn't hurt your eyes. But beyond that, the gameplay is what I'm here for. It's what I stay for, and I don't think this game really had any of that for me. To me, the gameplay loop of Jurassic World Evolution kind of boiled down to simply buy as many dinosaurs as you can and put them in a pen and make sure they don't die. Now, that I would say is a very high level overview of the game, but in reality it's actually kind of not. All you have to do to make money in this game and succeed and grow your park is to make a pen, throw some dinosaurs in it, and wait. There's no other things to really do or worry about. As long as you have a couple dinosaurs in a pen, you're pretty much set for the rest of the game. There are events and little things to happen, and some minor, very minor things to worry about in general, but they're almost so inconsequential that it's just not even worth mentioning a lot of them. So for example, here, if we take any of the islands, any of them, because they all, you know, essentially play the same, and they all end up being the same in the long run, no matter what you're really doing. It always puts you onto an island. You're on that island. You have like a little beginning pin. You might have a dinosaur. You might not have any dinosaur. There'll be a little bit of a challenge in regards to maybe money constraints at the beginning, or maybe size of the island, or things like that. But as soon as you get one pin, just one, with about 4 dinosaurs, the game just turns into a hurry up and wait for me. It's a lot of, well, you don't have all the dinosaurs or the new dinosaurs, so go ahead and send your research team. It costs a little bit of money, which is time, and then you don't do anything with that research team except for go to a map, click a point in the world, and have an RNG chance to get the item that you're looking for. And that is still a time. Everything in Jurassic World Evolution is behind a timer. Whether that's waiting to get money, whether that's waiting for a dinosaur to be bred, whether that's waiting for something to be built, whether that's going out and getting fossils, whether that's researching said fossils. It's just a whole bunch of timers, and I just don't expect that from a $60 almost considerably a AAA title that plays very much similar to a mobile game. You know, this is stuff that I would expect on like a free online browser game. You know, build up a kingdom and everything you place down is like a 5-minute, 3-minute timer. And you're waiting around. You're just like, yeah, this is great when I'm on the toilet, but boy, there's not much else to do when it comes to this game. Besides that, there are some shops. Shop management is rather bland and boring. There's not many shops. You can't customize how the shops look like. The shops are going to look the same no matter what you do, no matter what they really sell even. There's really not much interaction with the guests beyond making sure they are happy. Even driving around the park is, you know, it's kind of entertaining the first couple times. But it's just the whole guest management side of this game is gone. It's just missing. I don't know where it is, but it's not here. You're not going to find it. You're just going to lay down these generic buildings to make people happy in a very generic manner, in a generic area, and yes, you'll have little shopping districts and little sections for entertainment, but they're small, and they're repetitive, and vanilla as all get out. Though I will say, you know, the buildings and the overall design of each building, even though they are pretty bland over time, they are well modeled. You know, again, it kind of comes down to Frontier being a really good studio to make things look good and clean and readable. It's just, I think Frontier suffers a lot when it comes to the gameplay side of things, whether that's across multiple of their titles. You know, Elite Dangerous has about as much depth as a kiddie pool. You got Planet Coaster, which is great creatively and amazing to build. It's probably the best creative building game outside of probably just 3D modeling that you can get, but the management side is lackluster for a lot of people. And then you got this. It's a very beautiful rendition of dinosaurs, and they interact and you know, run around and they look cool, but that charm fades away. And then what are you left with? You're just left with some generic buildings, roughly the same pin composition throughout the park, and these random events and timers. Yeah. When it comes to the story itself, the story is kind of bland. Not much going on. You're just basically tasked with building on islands and trying to restore certain islands from the series to their former glory, and it's just a cookie cutter kind of, you know, here's an island, build it back up, go to the next island, build that back up, go to the next island, build that back up, over and over and over, and then each island, there are some little quirks to them, but they're more annoyances than unique features, I think. You know, turning on a shelter every now and then because the storm's coming gets boring and repetitive. Going and just, I don't even know what to say much more about the game. I just went over all of Jurassic World Evolution for you. You can modify the dinosaurs. That's cool. Doesn't really do much. You might get some more money. You might be able to make kind of a unique looking dinosaur. It changes their traits a little bit, but the animations are the same no matter what really their traits are. I don't think, you know, if you have a more aggressive dinosaur, if the killing animation is more aggressive looking than not having a more aggressive dinosaur, I didn't get to spot any sort of difference there. So it's just interesting. You have all these dinosaurs, and they're all different dinosaurs, some of which can't, of course, be put together because they might eat one of each other. But they don't really herd together. They don't interact much with their environment a whole lot besides eating and drinking and what seems to be mindlessly walking around between food stands. Balancing their needs is pretty straightforward. Grassland, forest, the amount of water in the pen. That was kind of to be expected, but more things for them to interact with would have been cool, I think. And I know Zoo Tycoon, there's a lot more things you could put into the pen and get the animals to do things. Maybe like climb rocks, climb trees. But this is just non-existent in Jurassic World Evolution. And like, I wouldn't be so overly harsh about this game, I don't think, if the price point wasn't $60. I don't know how they kind of justify this being a $60 title. To me, it feels like a $30 title. If it was $30, I would have no complaints, to be honest, because it runs really well, it's smooth, it looks good, and gets me about that much money of entertainment. But $60 with DLC potentially coming down the pipeline, it's just not. Like, City Skylines is cheaper, and you could do far more, just everything, just minus the dinosaur aspect. So I just don't get it, that price point that they're trying to justify there. I don't know if that's Frontier themselves doing that, or maybe the studio. I do kind of go into games that they kind of mainly advertise, you know, based around a movie, or they're contracted out for a movie to create a game in conjunction with the release. I'm always skeptical of those. I haven't really seen many of them succeed in a good, compelling way in all my years playing video games, and this, I think, is no exception. I think it's one of the better examples. It's definitely no Superman 64, so that's good, but it's just boring. At least for me personally. I'm sure many of you will like the game and have a fun time playing it. You know, I definitely would have probably liked it more if I would have started immediately in Sandbox and got to kind of build exactly what I wanted to build. You know, and I think that's another major contention for me about the game is Sandbox mode. Not everything is unlocked at once. It's tied to the progression of single player, and I think they did that for a couple reasons. Number one, single player was probably, in my opinion, so boring that I don't think anyone would have really played it much if Sandbox offered everything. And so it's kind of a gateway to Sandbox, is to force people to go through the single player campaign. Two, I think if they didn't do that, they couldn't justify I think playing for so long, because in Sandbox you would have had kind of access to everything, and people, I think, would have immediately saw how little there is to the game, and they would have gotten a few hours of entertainment out of it for sure, but you know, just like everything else, that would definitely fade. So they're kind of in this catch-22 with the game, where it's very much a, well, people want Sandbox, but there's not much to really do beyond genetically modify the dinosaurs, so make them play single player. And I just don't like it. I just think it's a cover-up for how shallow the game is itself. So again, I know this is ranty. I don't like to bash on games a whole lot, but this is my honest feeling after playing the game for many hours, trying to unlock everything so I could potentially enjoy Sandbox mode. But let me tell you, after building what seemed to be the same park 4 times, I was done. I was done. You couldn't pay me to play this game, I don't think, any more than I already have. And I've already put in 9 hours total into the game, which some of you might think is not enough to have a comprehensive review, but I'm pretty sure I could have beaten this game in 2 hours if there was a fast forward time option. It's that just much of a waste fest. Anyways, I know this is probably a short video for a lot of you, but people have been asking my opinion and asking if I was going to play this game on the channel, and the answer is no, I will not. And I will now uninstall it and go either work on Alpine Odyssey or go play something that's actually fun for my time. So with that, if you guys enjoyed this rant or opinion of mine, you can subscribe. you know, I just hope Frontier adds stuff to it later, and if they do and they make it better, I'll come back and I'll check it out. I'm definitely not against, you know, updating a game and making it better. You know, I'm about to try No Man's Sky when the next multiplayer update comes out, and I'm kind of excited to see what that does to the game. So, by no means is it, you know, the death of this game for me, but for now, I've done all I wanted to do with it. So, I'm gonna go ahead and let my dinosaurs kind of run around and kill people, and I'm gonna go play something else. See you guys in the next video.